Wait, what are you doing?
Breaking atoms. Hi there, welcome to Review Me Please. My name is Michael Allen Rose.
And I'm PJ, and we're here to review some records for you.
So a few months ago, I got a subscription to a service called Vinyl Me Please, and it got me thinking, you know what the internet needs is one more review show from a couple of guys listening to music.
You're welcome, internet.
And the cool thing about Vinyl Me Please is every month I get a package in the mail, and I never know what it's going to be. Well, sometimes I kind of have an idea of what it's going to be. But I never know what all is going to be in the package. So we're going to take a look at those packages, unbox them for you, and see what magic lies within.
Okay, Michael, so what do we have this week?
All right. Well, this week, PJ, we have a hip-hop classic from the 90s. This is Main Source, Breaking Atoms. So let me show you what came in the record sleeve itself.
All right.
In the jacket, we have a periodic table of the elements for breaking atoms, right?
Makes sense.
And check out this beautiful piece of vinyl right here.
Man, that might be the prettiest bit of vinyl I've ever seen.
Is that not gorgeous? We have, of course, the liner notes.
Finally, an album with liner notes. That's something I missed gravely for a long time.
He complains about it constantly.
Seriously, when I buy a piece of music, I want the liner notes. I want to read the lyrics. I want the whole experience. Oh, and it looks like we have a surprise this month.
A bonus?
A bonus!
Yeah!
It appears we have a bonus 45.
Ooh, bonus 45. Let me see. We do indeed, and it appears to have a remix of Pieces Not the Word to Play on side A. Side B has a non-album track, How My Man Went Down in the Game. So we are going to be listening to this gorgeous little 7-inch as well as the LP and reporting on our findings.
All right.
So we've got the album.
Okay.
We have this lovely art print. We have a cocktail recipe.
Oh, yeah.
This month we have the whole shebang. That's right. So without further ado, I think it's time to give it a look, a listen, and a drink, and see what we think of Main Source Breaking Atoms.
All right, well, let's get to the Review Me Please kitchen and get a cocktail made.
That's a fantastic plan. PJ, tell me a little bit about the whole shebang.
Well, the whole shebang is not unlike a gin martini. However, there's a couple little curveballs thrown in there.
What kind of curveballs?
Well, it starts with dry gin, dry vermouth, but adds in dry curacao, maraschino liquor, and a bit of lemon juice to bring it all together.
That's a lot of dry.
It is a lot of dry.
Well, let's talk about the individual ingredients a little bit. So gin I'm familiar with. Everyone knows gin. Dry vermouth I'm pretty familiar with. But the new ones to me, dry curacao is interesting. Because I'm a big orange liquor fan. I like oranges, I like orange liqueur. I'm used to sweet curacao, blue curacao, things like that. What about dry curacao?
Well, dry curacao I've never had before myself. I'd only learned it existed when I found this cocktail recipe.
Wow.
Apparently it was on the brink of extinction and one company brought it back. So maybe we're gonna get a slightly drier orange taste out of it. I'm kind of excited to find out.
Awesome. And then the other one I'm really excited about is the maraschino liquor. I don't know if you know this, but you can make your own maraschino cherries.
Really?
You know, the ones you buy in the store, they have like they're basically high fructose corn syrup injected with red dye into like what used to be a cherry. Like they've seen a cherry in their lives.
Once.
But they are no longer cherries. Apparently, you can get some fresh cherries, soak them in maraschino liquor, and they become little amazing alcohol bombs for your face.
Sounds like everything I've ever wanted in my life.
Maybe we'll do a bonus episode where we make maraschino cherries and listen to music.
And the final ingredient to this cocktail is
The humble lemon. Cocktail's friend, and fresh squeezed like a man. So I guess it's time to make the whole shebang, PJ.
Let's get to it. So if you could hand me the dry gin,
Dry
and
gin.
pour it into this shaker I have filled with ice.
Dry vermouth.
Dry vermouth. In you go.
Dry curacao.
Yep. In you go, buddy.
Maraschino.
Maraschino.
And freshly squeezed lemon juice.
All right, so we set this up with ice in a shaker, but we're not gonna shake it today. We're just gonna give it a little stir, just to kind of combine all the ingredients, get them comfortable with each other.
It's the opposite of James Bond.
Pretty much.
He'd be so mad right now.
Well, it's a good thing he's not here because he'd probably shoot me. And so we'll strain this into our up glasses. Let's give this a go here. La, la, la.
I like a little song. Is that your pouring song?
My pouring song.
La, la,
also,
la.
also how I splash lovely cocktails around the kitchen.
Well, you know.
And then to finish this off, we have a couple slices of orange.
Oh, lovely.
To bring it all together here.
I feel like I'm in the tropics getting ready to break some atoms.
But only in the tropics.
All right, well, now that we've got the whole shebang, how do you think it's going to pair with breaking atoms?
You know, I'm pretty sure that you can't get the whole shebang without breaking a few atoms.
Let's go check with our main source in the record room. Star wipes everywhere.
Star wipe. All right, so we're back to the Review Me Please record room. And now that we have the whole shebang in front of us,
It's time to take main source breaking atoms for a spin.
cheers.
All right, PJ, we've had a chance to take main source breaking atoms for a spin. What did you think?
Overall, I enjoyed it very much. I think there's a lot of great elements to it, a lot of good lyricism, and a lot of great samples. What'd you think about it, Michael?
Well, I love the production. I thought it was super crisp. I love the samples on this album. They use so many different sources. You can hear soul and funk and R&B from these old 70s albums. I love the fact that they talk about in the liner notes going to the record stores like you used to in the old days. You're flipping through the stacks, you're trying to find those gems, those special records. Obviously, they did their homework. You can hear all those influences in their production. So, PJ, what were your favorite tracks?
You know what? There's a lot of great tracks on here. I mean, I think maybe my favorite might have been Just a Friendly Game of Baseball, which talks about police brutality in the allegory of a game of baseball.
Yeah, super cool. I love the allegory there and how smart they are with language. Another linguistic magic trick they did was on Peace is Not the Word to Play, which is one of my favorite tracks, where they're rhyming things like what the definition of peace is with the concept of blowing someone to pieces, and there's all these cool bits of wordplay in there. The lyricism on this thing is stellar.
Yeah. You know what's also really good about this one is that side A ends with a scratch and cut, and I really appreciate that. You hear like a moment for the two DJs to really show their stuff, and honestly, for me, it's like a musical palate cleanser.
One of my favorite tracks actually is at the end of side B, Watch Roger Do His Thing. And I loved it because of the message, and it's so antithetical to a lot of the other stuff they're talking about because they're really concentrating in a lot of these songs on the problems that they see, on police brutality, on violence, on what it's like to be a poor kid growing up somewhere they don't necessarily want to be or can't find a way out of. Whereas Watch Roger Do His Thing inverts that. It's about Roger, this guy who everyone's making fun of because he's a nerd and he's like, he's getting a crappy job instead of like selling drugs on the corner because he could be making a lot more money and all this other stuff. And they keep going through all these verses where they're like, just watch Roger do his thing. Everyone's making fun of him, boom, boom, boom. In the end, he's the guy with the girls and the money and the cars and everything that they always wanted because he did it right.
You know, I feel like I've went wrong in my life. I should have watched Roger do his thing and then done right. Instead, I pretty much did the opposite.
PJ, you should be more like Roger.
I should. So, Michael, what was your favorite track on the 7-inch? I know it's hard to choose between the two.
Well, you know, I really liked the remix of Peace is Not the Word to Play. I love the fact that there's an extra verse in the remix that was not on the album track. I like the fact that, like, on the LP, it starts with, like, the sleigh bell kind of thing. And on the remix, it's a little more gritty. They start with, like, the slowed down sample version, and then they kick in, and it's got this gritty, grungy, driving, like, beat to it. I dug it. We should also mention that the cat, Dr. Light, our resident DJ cat, did his own impromptu remix of the 7-inch. Thought there was a locked groove for a while and went around and around and around and around and around, but then it stopped when I picked it up and looked, and there was a cat hair there. So thank you, Dr. Light, for that impromptu remix.
You know, that's the thing though. We did take the cat hair off and we tried it again, and honestly, it still did it. So either we didn't do a good job of cleaning the album, or there's an imperfection. Did you get an imperfection in your bonus album? Let us know in the comments.
All right, let's take a look at the artwork. This month, we have Xavier Payne. How do you think this pairs with the album.
So overall, I think that they really hit the nail on the head by choosing this piece of art. It really encapsulates the late 80s and early 90s, and it really feels like it pairs well with not only the music on this album, but the actual album art itself.
I like it because it reminds me of skater culture. It's got that sort of coastal kind of like youthful, bright colors, explosive energy kind of feel to it, which I think is cool. There's a lot of explosive energy on this album, and I think he hits a lot of those notes in the art.
So what did you think of the whole shebang? Does it match the album?
You know, it does. There's something kind of traditional and old school about it, but it also has some crazy mixed up elements. I think the gin and vermouth were expected, but the dry curacao is interesting. The maraschino liquor was something I wasn't familiar with, like I discussed in the Review Me Please Kitchen. Yeah, no, I like the old school elements with the new school twists.
Right, so I gotta be honest, I fought the whole shebang at first. I wasn't necessarily convinced that this was gonna work out with the album, and really, I'm not the biggest citrus guy on the planet. There was a lot of citrus elements. Now, I do love my gin, and I like my gin martini, so I thought we had the base to work on here, that would be great. But as I went on and listened to the album, I really feel like I figured out what they were trying to do with this. You got this classic taste with kind of this new spin, and it worked for me. So, you know, one thing we didn't do is add the garnish to our drink. So let's take a second, squeeze it in there, and let's get some impressions.
Give it a little squeeze.
A little squeezy-doo.
A little squeezy-doo.
That's right.
Squeezy-doo.
Here we are. Cheers. Ooh, see, that brightened it up a lot.
Oh, yeah.
We got right there.
That's good stuff. All right, PJ, on a scale from 2 turntables to a microphone, where would you rate Main Source Breaking Atoms?
You know what? I think I'm going to go with 2 turntables on this one, Michael, and that's because this band has 2 DJs, but more importantly, the samples were great, the sound quality was great overall. The lyrics were good too, don't get me wrong, I really like them, but honestly, if I'm going to put it on that scale, definitely 2 turntables. So Michael, in your case then, on a scale of, I don't know, Run DMC to Kanye West, how would you rate this album?
All right, well, on that scale, I'm gonna lean over here toward Run DMC.
All right.
And I'm gonna put it right about in the Public Enemy NWA triangle.
Is that like the Bermuda Triangle?
It's a lot like that. It's where sucker MCs go to sink. Main Source rises above, baby. All right, that'll do it for another episode of Review Me Please. I've been Michael.
And I've been PJ. Thanks for watching this video. Please be sure to like and share it with your friends, and if you want to see some more awesome content, all you have to do is subscribe.
We're gonna have awesome new vinyl reviews for you, as well as cocktail reviews. So until next time, keep it spinning!